Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Man Cave Meals. Today we're going to fire up the Karubecue and we're going to cook an 8-pound Boston butt. So let's get rolling. In order to start up the Karubecue today, I'm going to use the cheater method this time. I've got my small Weber charcoal chimney here with some lump charcoal lighting up. I'm going to let that charcoal get lit up, and then we're going to pour it into the firebox of the Karubecue and then put a log in on top to get things going. Okay, I've got my lump charcoal nice and hot here, so I'm just going to lay that in there. And then we're going to lay a couple of small splits right in on top of it to get our fire going. And while the Karubecue is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and season this Boston butt. I've got an 8-pounder here, and I'm playing around today with a new rub recipe that I'm trying to put together that's primarily salt, pepper, and garlic. So what I'm going to do is get this guy completely rubbed down with this, and we're going to let it sit here for a little bit and let the salt that's in this rub start going to work before we toss it on the smoker. Okay, we've got our grill nice and hot. I'm going to run today at around 275, between 275 and 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to get this Boston butt in here, and I'm going to put a temperature probe in it so we can keep an eye on the internal temperature of this meat. And when we get to around 160, we're going to come back and have a look at it, and we're probably going to wrap at that point. We've been going about 4 hours and 15 minutes or so now, and this thing's looking really nice. I've got a nice bark formed on that. The internal temperature of the meat's up to about 165. I'm going to let this sit in here for about 15 more minutes before we take it out to go to the next stage. This is a little hard to see in the light we have here, but I've got a nice bark on this, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wrap this up in a double thick layer of aluminum foil. At this point in the game, you've got a couple options. You can put this back on the smoker, back on the Karubecue if you want to continue running the Karubecue, but since I'm wrapped, I've got the option of going to the oven if I want to, or going to another grill, and I've got another grill running here, so we're going to go that route. I've got my Kamado Joe Classic running here at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're just going to finish up the cook in that grill. I'm going to put my meat probe in there so I can watch it. And we're going to let this guy go till it gets really just super probe tender. And then we'll be back. Okay folks, after about another 2 hours in the wrap, my total time here is about 6.5 hours on this roast. This guy's ready. It's probing absolutely jello tender. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to get this guy off of here. I'm going to re-wrap it in foil, and we're going to let it rest in the cooler for a couple hours before we tear into it. So I've rested this guy for a while. I've taken it out and put it in my hotel pan, and we're going to yank that bone out so you'll be able to see how nice and clean that guy comes out. And what I want to do before I tear this apart, I want to take a knife here and have a look at that smoke ring. Take a look at that. That's beautiful. This thing smells amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hands, and pull this guy apart. You can see how it just falls apart. Super tender. It smells amazing. That's one thing I can't show you on video, is the beautiful aroma that this thing has of the pork and the smoke. So once again, I'm super impressed with the capabilities of the Karubecue. So what I'll do now is I'll just tear this stuff apart and I'll package it up individually, and this is going to have a good meal impact on me for work lunches and sharing with some family. So guys, let me know what you think. Join me on Facebook, facebook.com/mancavemeals. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Man Cave Meals.